Welcome back, everyone. As the intro and the title gave away, today we're going over the Vortex 3-power magnifier. Now this one here, I've gotten a ton of requests to do because we obviously have reviewed other magnifiers here before in the past, but not this one. So this is one of the more popular ones out there on the market. So coming up next, we're going to talk about some of the features of it and maybe why it's so popular. We've got it mounted up here with this Trijicon RMR from Optics Planet, mounted up on an American Defense Manufacturing co-witness riser. So it's going to be the same for any sort of AR optic that you're running, including the ones that you've seen throughout the video already. Basically, to get it zeroed in, and what I mean by zeroed in is you're actually not zeroing the optic is zeroed separately, but to get your magnifier zeroed in by actually turning these little screws here, you're going to raise the elevation or drop it, depending on which way you're going. And on the side here, you're going to do your windage. And what it's really doing is, again, windage is not really the right term. What you're actually doing is moving the dot in the center of the actual focus there. So that way you can center your dot in the magnifier. So every time you get a consistent sight picture. But either way, even if you move the dot all the way to the left, all the way up, all the way down, it doesn't matter. Your point of impact is going to be the same regardless. I've used some footage that we've seen in the video already in other videos, and one thing people kept asking was, if you're going to have a magnifier there, why do you even have backup irons? Well, simple answer for that. Say your optic goes down for whatever reason, dirt, mud, it cracks, whatever the case may be, you can actually hit the button here on the side, move your magnifier out of the way, activate your backup irons, and get back in the fight. The field of view at 100 yards with the magnifier is going to be 38 feet. Now, it's sort of hard to tell with this manual focus that we're using on the camera here, but here's what it looks like with the magnifier on there, and I'm going to move it to the side, hopefully not disturb the camera too much. And that's the difference there when you're just using the red dot. So again, with no red dot there, or with no magnifier, excuse me, flipping the magnifier back into place, and we'll get it back on camera. And you can see how it magnifies it. Now, it's a very hazy day. It's kind of the end of the day right now, so we don't have a ton of light, but that is what you can see. It looks a little bit clearer to the human eye than it does here on camera, but it should give you a pretty good idea. The magnifier comes with an insert. This insert is supposed to be used when you have a lower 1/3 red dot sight. So if you have that, you can just insert it here between the actual mount itself and the magnifier, so it goes right in between there. And one thing that's important to point out is one of the big criticisms that I've read online about this magnifier is that it flips to the wrong side. A lot of right-handed shooters would prefer that their optics flip to the right. That said, it is reversible, so you can, instead of installing it the way you see here, you can just unscrew these screws, flip the mount around, and it will flip the opposite way. A few months ago, I did a video with the EOTech OpMod magnifier here, and there's some pretty big differences between the two. First and foremost, it's going to be price. The EOTech's about 3 times more expensive than the Vortex here. So this one in today's market is going to be generally $150 to $200, depending on where you look. This one, obviously, a good bit more expensive. This one here is also going to be a little bit more rugged. At least in my opinion, it feels a little more rugged. Still has a zeroing ring on the back, just like the Vortex does. The mount is a quick detach as opposed to the screw. And when you're actually centering the dot, you center it here with the screws, or I should say not the screws, you center it by hand as opposed to with the screws on the Vortex. The glass on the EOTech is a little bit, like ever so slightly clearer, not too much. That's honestly a very minor difference between the two. So in that category, the Vortex does very well. I think we covered most of the details on the optic here so far. One thing I know I left out is that it is nitrogen purged, so it's fine if you're going to be out there hunting with it in the rain and stuff like that. You'll be just fine. It's not going to have any issues there. Even if you ever did have any issues, Vortex offers a lifetime, no questions asked, no conditions warranty, which is really awesome. I recommend Vortex a lot just because of that, because, you know, they sort of are competing with some of the lower end stuff, especially with products like this. But the performance is great, especially for the money. And even if you happen to have the one-off one that's problematic, the warranty is awesome. Their customer service is awesome. Everything you read online about it is really great, and you certainly can't complain about that. The other factor I think I left out is that it's just under 12 ounces in weight. I know that's something that a lot of folks are really concerned about when adding it onto their rifles. So I think that pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions that we didn't cover here in the review, you can always post below in the comment section. We'll also put a link to Vortex's site below. So if you have like specific product questions that I might not know about, you can ask them as well. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.